It's time for the Green Wave Coaches Show, broadcasting each week from Brint Street Pizza and Pub in Gallatin, Tennessee. The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Gallatin's local hometown hardware store, serving Gallatin and Sumner County for the past 50 years. Stop by and let Jimmy and his staff take care of all your hardware needs. Bank Tennessee, the bank for the Green Wave. Delta Dental of Tennessee. Visit deltadentaltn.com. Double Dogs, Sumner County's favorite sports bar, and the Ingram Law Firm, a local law firm that you can count on. Let our legal family help you and your family in your time of need. Now, let's get to the show and join our host, Blaine Kellar.
The Green Wave Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Bank Tennessee, Delta Dental, Double Dogs, and the Ingram Law Firm. Sumner County Sports Editor Blaine Kellar joining you, and here to recap Gallatin's 46-13 region loss to Green Hill and preview the upcoming Mayor's Cup against Station Camp, it's defensive coordinator Brint Russell. Coach Russell, thank you for your time. Thanks for filling in for Coach Straub, Michael Straub. Glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you. Very appreciative of you having me.
Gallatin, as I mentioned, fell 46-13 in Region 4 6A action at Green Hill. Perhaps more importantly, quarterback Jackson Straub going down in the second quarter for a fractured tibia. He had an MRI Monday and announced Saturday night that he would miss the remainder of his senior season. Riley Ridings filled in at quarterback the rest of the way in that game. Paul Pitts was the acting head coach as Michael Straub, Jackson's dad, went to the hospital where Jackson was evaluated. Coach Russell, I ask you all those things to kind of get your perspective on how the team played from that moment forward.
Yeah, you know, when you're there in the game and you don't want to see anyone get hurt, but whenever you see your quarterback go down, everybody kind of holds their breath. And that was the case Friday, and everyone was hoping and praying, you know, maybe it's something small.
Yeah.
But then when you watch him, you know, limp off, and him being such a tough kid, you know that it was something serious. You know, and Jackson he's the heart and soul of our football team. He's the leader of our football team, and all of our kids look up to him. And so when you see your leader go out, as a competitor, you want to pick things up and you want to play harder for him. I feel like it was just kind of a gut punch to our team. You know, there goes our starting quarterback, our leader, our voice. And so at halftime, there was a lot of players saying, hey, we got to step up now. We have to play harder. We have to do the little things because we recognize that there was a void there. So I was proud of the way Riley came in, played quarterback, let us down and scored. Malachi Harper running the football, the offensive line taking it on themselves to know that we were perhaps going to run the ball a little bit more and block the way they did. So it was a team effort. You saw the team step up and try to rally around Jackson not being there as you would expect us to do.
And on the other side of that, as defensive coordinator, I'm sure everybody's role has kind of changed a little bit after your head coach has to head to the hospital with his son. How do you think Paul did in that acting head coach role, and what did that look like for the rest of you guys kind of taking on a little more responsibility there?
Well, Paul is Paul's awesome. And so you get to see Paul Pitts behind the scenes, and that guy is one of the most organized and prepared coaches I've ever been around. So whenever it came time for him to, calm the troops, if you will, I think he did an outstanding job. You know, he called the game. He slowed the game down a little bit, started playing into Riley's strengths as a play caller. And so it was neat to watch him in that role.
We're here at Brint Street Pizza and Pub throughout the Gallatin football season, already over the halfway point, so be sure to come check us out for some great pizza and beer at Brint Street. Did it take a minute? It sounded like for you and maybe the guys, the players, it took a minute to get back into the swing of a football game after a player like that goes down.
Yeah, it's like you're in shock. You know, you're in shock. You're used to looking at the off the sideline or from the booth, and you look down there and you know as long as Jackson's there, we got a chance.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're quick strike, can be a quick strike offense with that guy, and when you take him off the field, it's who's the trigger man now, right? And it changes the dynamic. And so I think we were all kind of in that, deer in the headlights. Like, holy cow. And now here we go. We have to continue on with the game. Our leader, our head coach, is off taking care of his son.
Understandably, of
absolutely,
course, yeah.
As any good father, would. And it was a shock. And I think we all did the best we could in those moments. And I was proud of the way our kids finished. I was proud of the way after the game they held their emotions in check. And so, ever since I came to Gallatin, we've preached culture and the way we handle ourselves and our business, and that was put on display Friday night with the way we handled losing Jackson.
Yeah, big hole for the Green Wave to fill going into this next week and the rest of the region's schedule. We'll touch on that on the other side of this first break. But Stroup, a VMI commitment, he is the career leader in so many categories for Gallatin. Career passing yards, single season passing touchdowns, and the inverse of that, career passing touchdowns and single season yards. Hope I had that right. The 4 statistics across the board, Stroup is the leader for Gallatin football. And now you're kind of looking to replace him. You have a couple of options there, but I'm really more curious about what the weekend was like supporting that family. Yeah. What was that like for you guys trying to rally around them after a game like that?
Yeah, well, the first thing that you think of is Jackson and where is his mind space. And, people don't realize you don't see Jackson on Sunday at the coaches' meetings and wanting to be a part and break down film. And when you show up, Jackson's in the field house because he's a film rat. And so you show up and Jackson's not there. And that's when it really, it hits you as a coach like, man, the kids did a great job. The players did a great job. I think the Stroups had a train going through their house all weekend of players going in to check on their buddy and their friend, and not just as their teammate, but this is my buddy. I want to make sure you're okay. And I think the Stroups felt that love from the community and from the kids, and you continue to even till today. But going in this weekend, it was different. Obviously, you have to change your formula a little bit, and we've talked about it. But the standard's still there. We have to find a way to win a football game, and it may look a little different, but we still have to find a way to win. And so Jackson will be the first one to tell you, hey, quit wallowing in self-pity. Let's pick it up and let's get going, next man up. And so that's what we're kind of going through right now is practicing. We've had a good week of practice so far, getting ready for this week's ball game, and some kids have to step up and be in different roles and be leaders of the team. So that's what we're feeling our way through right now.
Yeah, coming up next is the Mayor's Cup for Gallatin, big rivalry game against Station Camp. I'm curious, closing out our first segment, Brint, how can Jackson still be involved with this team starting with that game?
Absolutely. If I'm a quarterback and I'm watching film and I want to break down the opponent, I want Jackson Stroup helping me out. Listen, Jackson's came to me before and as the defense coordinator said, hey, coach, did you see when he puts his right foot back or left foot back, this happened? I'm like, I did see that, Jackson, and I'm kind of astounded that you see that from the other team. So when I say the kid's a film rat, he is a film rat. So this gives an opportunity for him to grow as a mentor, a more individualized mentor than a team leader. And so he's going to be in that quarterback room, and he's going to help those guys and to watch film and to see some weaknesses where they can be successful, hopefully against Station Camp.
You're watching the Green Wave Coaches Show on Main Street Media Television. When we come back, Coach Russell and I will preview the Mayor's Cup between the Green Wave and Bison of Station Camp. Stay tuned.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When you're looking for the right attorney, it's important to ask questions that address your needs and concerns. Is your attorney local? A local attorney is often more attuned to the specific issues and challenges you may face. Jay Ingram understands the Gallatin, Sumner County, and Middle Tennessee communities well. He's been practicing law here for 25 years. What are their primary areas of practice? The Ingram Law Firm focuses their practice primarily on the areas of criminal defense, domestic relations, civil litigation, juvenile law, and probate. Do they genuinely care about the community? Jay Ingram, his associate attorneys, and legal staff are not only skilled, but they're also deeply invested in their community. Managing partner Jay Ingram is a graduate of Leadership Sumner and has held leadership roles with the Sumner County Bar Association, Gallatin Green Wave Quarterback Club, the Gallatin Lions Club, and he's a graduate of both Leadership Middle Tennessee and the Tennessee Bar Association's Leadership Law statewide program. Why does all of this matter? Finding an attorney who understands, cares about, and is connected to the local community can make a significant difference in your experience and your outcome. Jay Ingram, Haley Medley, and Austin Knapp are dedicated local citizens and attorneys who are here to help you navigate your legal challenges with compassion. Reach out to the Ingram Law Firm PLLC today at 615-452-6613 or visit ingramlawyers.com.
Not going fishing till that grass is cut.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Score big with your hometown team. Bank Tennessee is proud to be the bank of the Green Wave. We believe in supporting our community and we're dedicated to helping our neighbors succeed. When you bank with us, your deposits help fund local businesses, homeowners, and community projects. Go Green Wave! Bank Tennessee, www.banktennessee.com, in Gallatin at 544 Hartsville Pike, 615-442-7914, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Green Wave Coaches Show continuing here at Brint Street Pizza and Pub in Gallatin, getting ready for the Mayor's Cup between the Green Wave and Bison of Station Camp. Coach, the Bison have a pretty good quarterback of their own in Colton Overby.
Yep.
Also a lot of skilled receivers, which is what I wanted to ask you about as a defensive coordinator. Guys like Eric Ginther, Caden Moore, Kelton Fitz had a good touchdown grab a week ago. Tony Peacock, a good tight end for them too. They throw the ball a lot. So what's your assessment of those receivers?
You nailed it. They're athletic. They have good pass protection. Colton Overby is one of the most slippery guys I've seen on film. Breaking down Station Camp, he's just so hard to get a solid hit on, right? The guy's always slipping out of tackles, and I showed our guys film of him making 2 and 3 guys miss at a time. Lefty, got a little Steve Young in him, gets out, runs around. Tall, athletic, good-looking receivers on the outside, 11 and 14. I think one of them's a sophomore. The ability to separate in the pass game, throw the ball up, and they'll go up and catch it. So we got our hands full Friday, and not looking forward to seeing him on the other side.
Defense will be challenged, but one way you may have an advantage is the lack of a running game maybe that Station Camp will be shorthanded with. Matthew Dickens suffered an injury against Lebanon. Colin Gillespie will miss the first half because of a suspension. How will you as a defense be able to take advantage maybe of a third or fourth string running back, at least for the first half?
We'll take every advantage we can. But their running back is not their complete running game because, Colton is a very large part of their running game. And they do a really good job with some read plays and allowing him to get loose and be elusive. So we can't just focus on who's playing running back. On film we've seen the first, second, and third string kid. And I saw that third string kid rip off a 25-yard run. So they're more than capable of running the football. They're not one-dimensional by no means of the stretch of the imagination.
Green Wave Coaches Show brought to you by Tennessee Ace Hardware, Bank Tennessee, Delta Dental, Double Dogs, and the Ingram Law Firm. Coach Russell, in talking so much about Jackson Straub's injury, Riley Ridings finished that game, as we mentioned earlier, and I was curious, from what you've seen out of him, what are his strengths as a quarterback as you go into this game, maybe with him as the guy?
Yeah, Riley has a lot of moxie, right? You throw that guy into the fire and he performs. And what I really admire about Riley is that he comes in and he goes back to the fundamentals. He does the things he's coached to do, and he's not scared to throw the ball, right? So if I was a backup quarterback coming in, I don't know if I'd let it fly first couple of snaps. And this dude does not. I mean, I'm here, I'm the quarterback, and he's throwing the ball.
He showed that right away against Hendersonville in week 1. Now, it was an interception, but he wasn't afraid to throw the ball in his time on the field against Henderson.
Listen, he'll sling it, and he had a couple good throws Friday night. So, you know, our offense is geared to throw the football, right? And so you have to have somebody back there that's got a little gunslinger in them, and Riley does.
Now, we talked about Station Camp's receivers all season long in the Green Wave Coaches Show. We've talked about how skilled these receivers are, too, for Gallatin, and how can those guys in the offensive line complement a new quarterback under center?
Yeah, well, you know, we've talked all week and told our receivers, hey, new quarterback, same standard. We've got to catch the ball. If it's in your proximity and you come down with it, you have to help your quarterback. You have to catch the football, right? And we have a good group of receivers who've done a good job all year of catching the football, and they have to continue to do that with our, you know, with whoever's playing quarterback for us. And you know, offensive line, Coach Pitts is a really good coach, and he's got those guys pass proing well. Doesn't matter who's back there. We have to continue to pass pro, okay? And so also, you know, same thing with us running the football. We have to be blockers on the perimeter. We have to do a good job of run blocking. So nothing's changed in terms of what we coach or what we do out of our wide receivers or our offensive line. It doesn't really matter who's the trigger man. We still have to perform.
Hey, your quarterback, too, one thing Jackson did really well, he got the ball out fast.
Absolutely.
And what kind of responsibility then relies on that offensive line, on those receivers, on the quarterback to make sure that same level of speed is coming out on pass plays?
Well, you know, through this week and learning a new passer, right, you have to redevelop that timing, right, because the ball's not going to get there as quick as it would if Jack was throwing the football. You know, he's a Division I football player for a reason. And so you have to readjust to the speed of the ball. You have to readjust to the ball coming at different portions of the route. You have to adjust to the quarterback maybe holding the ball a split second longer. And so you have to go through offense throughout this week and practice those things and feel that pressure. And it's just going to be an adjustment period this week.
Watching Station Camp play a week ago against Lebanon, another region foe you'll face down the road, the Blue Devils found a way to make that offense stall a lot near midfield. The other side of that is Station Camp has a kicker that can hit it from that far. So what's the challenge as a defensive coordinator in trying to stop that offense from going all the way, but also making the kicker be in an uncomfortable situation?
Yeah, well, you know, it feels like when you have a weapon like that as a kicker, if they get past the 50, there's a chance they're going to score points. Yeah. So there's 3 or 7. You know, so for us, if they do move the football and they get past midfield, we're stressing our guys, hey, let's limit this to a field goal try, right? And let's get some pressure and let's try to make him uncomfortable and do our best. Maybe he shanks one, right? Maybe it's our night. So really putting a lot of emphasis on protecting, trying to keep it on their side of the 50 this week rather than like we do every week. So, you know, you're right. As you got a weapon like that, you want to try to minimize his opportunities as much as possible.
Talking with Brint Russell here on the Green Wave Coaches Show, previewing the Mayor's Cup between Gallatin and Station Camp. The whole outlook of the scenario is very unfortunate for Jackson Straub to go out and to miss the season like we've mentioned. But I guess if there's any silver lining, it's the fact that you get a non-region game to figure something out before you go through the rest of the schedule. Is that something that you think about at all?
No, because it's the Mayor's Cup. You know, It might be a non-region game, but it's the Mayor's Cup, and so that's a big game for us. And it's a big game for Gallatin, so that's circled on the calendar, and that's one that you want to play well in. So, yes, you get a non-conference game. It's not going to deter, whether we play a home playoff game or not, which is still one of our goals. But at the same time, we want to come out, compete, and try to win the football game.
In your scouting, in your preparation for this game as a coaching staff, I wanted to ask, is there less of time for that maybe because you're having to spend a lot of time getting a quarterback up to speed with the offense?
Yeah, you have to be fortunate for us. We do a good job at practice of playing ones and twos. So our guys, it's not like they're back there thrown in and here we go. We've done a really good job. Coach Pitt's done a really good job with the offense of making sure that everybody's getting reps every week. So nobody's going in cold turkey, right? He has seen bullets fly in practice. And so I think that's part of why Riley stepped in Friday and was as comfortable as he was, is that he has seen that. So I don't think that's necessarily hampered us this week. I think our preparation has been more of the same, but we're trying to tailor what we can do to fit the skill set of who we have, slinging the ball around.
Big game coming up Friday. Should be a fun one to cover. Mayor's Cup, as always, a great rivalry in the Sumner County area between Gallatin and Station Camp. When we come back, we'll close out the show with one fun question for Coach Brint Russell on the Green Wave Coaches Show.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
When you're looking for the right attorney, it's important to ask questions that address your needs and concerns. Is your attorney local? A local attorney is often more attuned to the specific issues and challenges you may face. Jay Ingram understands the Gallatin, Sumner County, and Middle Tennessee communities well. He's been practicing law here for 25 years. What are their primary areas of practice? The Ingram Law Firm focuses their practice primarily on the areas of criminal defense, domestic relations, civil litigation, juvenile law, and probate. Do they genuinely care about the community? Jay Ingram, his associate attorneys, and legal staff are not only skilled, but they're also deeply invested in their community. Managing partner Jay Ingram is a graduate of Leadership Sumner and has held leadership roles with the Sumner County Bar Association, Gallatin Green Wave Quarterback Club, the Gallatin Lions Club, and he's a graduate of both Leadership Middle Tennessee and the Tennessee Bar Association's Leadership Law statewide program. Why does all of this matter? Finding an attorney who understands, cares about, and is connected to the local community can make a significant difference in your experience and your outcome. Jay Ingram, Haley Medley, and Austin Knapp are dedicated local citizens and attorneys who are here to help you navigate your legal challenges with compassion. Reach out to the Ingram Law Firm PLLC today at 615-452-6613 or visit ingramlawyers.com.
You're not going fishing till that grass is cut.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
Score big with your hometown team. Bank Tennessee is proud to be the bank of the Green Wave. We believe in supporting our community and we're dedicated to helping our neighbors succeed. When you bank with us, your deposits help fund local businesses, homeowners, and community projects. Go Green Wave! Bank Tennessee, www.banktennessee.com, in Gallatin at 544 Hartsville Pike, 615-442-7914, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Closing out with one fun question here on the Green Wave Coaches Show with defensive coordinator Brint Russell. First, I want to throw a little jab. We've been talking in between breaks this whole time about your favorite college team being UNC and coached by Bill Belichick.
That's right, Chapel Bill.
Very fun first game for me as a TCU fan to see that spanking happen over there in Chapel Bill.
I wouldn't say a spanking. But
it was pretty decisive.
But first game jitters.
We're shifting over to the favorite player that you've coached in your career. Spent a long time. You've coached in North Carolina. You've coached in Tennessee. Offense, defense, head coach. You've done it all.
Yeah.
So a large pool to pick from. But why don't you give us a favorite and maybe some short list guys that some folks would know?
Especially with everything that's happened this week. Introspective, I would say my most favorite player that I've ever got to coach would be my son, Andy Brock, and getting to watch him play, especially this year, has been a blast. And getting that ability to spend the weekends with him and game plan, and then to watch him go out and his teammates voted him a captain this year along with Jack and our other two captains, Malachi and Peavy, and watching him being able to be a part of this group has been really cool.
Yeah, you mentioned it there for a second, just the retrospect that you get a little bit from something like this. As a dad, I'm sure it makes you cherish these moments all the more, knowing that and so unfortunately for the Straps, it can be taken away.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Coach Straup and I bonded over is we both have seniors on this team, and so there's a special thing there that no one else on our staff can understand, is that you get to coach your kid and you get to watch them grow in front of you, and God, and it hurts because Jackson's so close, and you feel like I know that dynamic, and yeah, I mean it's tough for them right now, and that's a hard emotional landmine to go through, and it makes me feel really appreciative that I still get to coach Andy.
And I'm putting you on the spot here to close this out, but is there a star player that you coached across your time that maybe made it to the college ranks, or somebody that was so dominant?
I coached a young man, Jonathan Bullard. He played John, and I think he's still on. I'm not sure if he's. Last I checked, he plays D-line for the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, there you go.
Played for the Florida Gators, and he was a fun kid to coach. Demetrius Mooney, ECU. Gosh, so I've coached, dozens of kids that played at college.
Yeah, and those kind of questions, you're afraid you're going to leave somebody out.
If they see this, trust me, I'm going to get a lot, and there's a bunch of kids at Beach that I had an opportunity to coach that I was, they're playing college football now that I'm, obviously still proud of and still talk to them. So.
Well, Brent, thank you so much for your time and filling in for Coach Straup on the Green Wave Coaches Show. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. We will see you after the Mayor's Cup. And as Gallatin continues its region slate, we will see you on MainStreetPreps.com, on Main Street Media Television, and the Gallatin News. Thanks so much for watching.